way to Lake Pleasant today. We're going to go run the new GP 1500 GP1, the demo boat that we just finished. So yeah, we're going to take it out, go do some top speed checks and see how she runs, and just show you guys around the boat a little bit, and kind of give you a little insight into the boat and then what kind of performance it has. So yeah, follow along and it should be a good day. There. So this is basically like our production GP1 1500, like the spec that pretty much we send out to everybody. It does have our new billet intake system, so we've got the new billet intake shoe, the new pump plate, and then obviously the scoop grade to match. So yeah, today really it was good conditions. Actually there's a little bit of roll to the water, but I thought it was going to affect the boat a little bit more for these speed runs, but it was actually, I was able to get the boat nice and flat, so we got some good numbers. So on those runs I backed it up twice. So first run 68.5 miles an hour, then just to make sure that it wasn't like a fluke GPS pickup or something like that, ran the exact same run again and exactly the same again, 68.5. So we just finished up our test with this production GP1. This is going to be our demo boat, so it's pretty much the standard spec that we like to sell to customers. So yeah, it was a great test today. The water was really good. We were able to get a top speed of 68.5 miles an hour. We got on the first run, reset everything, did it again, just to make sure that it wasn't like a fluke with the GPS. Did 68.5 again, so really happy with that. But yeah, I mean, these boats are so great nowadays. So this is basically a 1500 Kawasaki engine that we use. It is obviously our GP1 hull. The whole concept with this ski was to try and build a really high performance boat but keep ultimate reliability. So with that in mind, we basically started with a GP 1500, well, a GP1 hull, and a Kawasaki SXR 1500 as our base donor. And we really focused on being able to use as much of the Kawasaki as possible to keep reliability. Production skis, obviously people buy them because of the reliability and price, and for us, it's always going to be tough for an aftermarket manufacturer to be able to compete with price. So we went for performance and reliability. So I feel that we've knocked it out of the park with those two divisions. The boat is phenomenal. So basically, pump gas setup, 68.5 miles an hour today. We're at Lake Pleasant, 2,000 foot elevation here. It actually is pretty cool today, so probably around like 60 degrees. Yeah, good weather for testing, that's for sure. We went for a white and black color scheme just to keep something really simple, great for a demo unit. Went with the green accents in the LG1 graphic kit to tie in with the Kawasaki theme of using the 1500 engine. And then we basically got our new bumper kit put onto it with the new splash guard deflector. It's basically like an extended bumper. While I was racing the World Finals, we were in these crazy rough conditions, and the 2018 World Finals was some of the toughest conditions we've ever raced in. And when I was banging down the back straightaway, I just thought, man, like, there's so much spray coming, you know, through all of our eyes, faces, you know, no matter what brand you were on. And one of the things that I wanted to work on this off season was getting rid of that spray. And even though we were able to win the World Finals in Pro Ski with Quentin Bosch, I just saw some improvement there. So we went after that. We were able to dry up the ride a little bit, which made a big difference. And you won't actually believe how much spray on any stand-up you have in your face until you don't have any spray almost at all. So it really made a big difference, and yeah, we're really happy with that. Obviously got our whole bumper kit. Our bumpers all around the boat from down the sides are actually made specifically for our GP1. They add grip, so there's some function to those, definitely, for sure. As far as graphics, we always go with you know, obviously try and keep as standard of a look as possible so people know our boats when they just quickly see them. As far as componentry on the GP1, we use most of the time RRP, basically from pole bracket to handlebars, but not exclusive only to RRP. If a customer prefers Blosian or any other good brand, we're happy to fit them, but for us it's easy to get. I really like the quality of RRP equipment, and I race with it myself, so I got a really good feel for how the boat should handle with RRP steering, bars, pole, etc. So try and keep it, you know, customer boats as close to what I race as possible, and it helps me when I set them up for the riders that we're able to get them like really dialed in and really close to what I race. But yeah, basically RRP from the base bracket to the handlebars, ODI grips, nice and standard on the boats. ODI lock-on grip, the best grip out there. Then obviously for matte kits, definitely, you know, we focus on Jetrim. Jetrim does really custom work for us, and we're able to offer our customers you know, custom mats, different contours. Our tray design does have a raised center, so that has a lot of function in our boat. But if a customer doesn't like the raised center of the tray, we are able to modify that, lift it, pretty much whatever the customer wants. So if he does want a flat tray, it's easy for us to do it. But honestly, with most people, if they just stick it out for a day or two on our tray design, the way I pretty much set up mine, the guys that stick it out never look back. So there's definitely some performance advantage in it, and our boat has amazing amount of corner grip. So with that kind of corner grip, you need to be able to wedge your feet tightly into the boat, and our mat design, I just feel, locks your feet in really well and really keeps you connected to the ski. And when I've tried skis with like just a flat mat, we just can hold so much more grip that I struggle to keep my feet in the right position. So really happy with like that with our tray design. And as far as the rest of the boat goes, we obviously run the 1500 engine. We offer these boats, and basically, well, I hope we can pretty much take anything out. The very popular models for us is the Yamaha 1050, the Yamaha 1050 Turbo, which is definitely the most powerful ski that we produce, and then the 1500 version using the Kawasaki engine. The Kawasaki engine GP 1500 has been the most popular seller as of late, and I think the key things to that is, for what the price is and the performance you get, it's pretty tough to beat. It's just you're getting, you know, high 60s on a pump gas boat. We are able to use the standard Kawasaki fuel tank, fuel pump, the actual drive pump in this boat, Kawasaki 148. You know, the wiring loom is standard Kawasaki, so the reliability is just amazing, and it's a super simple boat. So literally with these GP 1500s, you put gas in them and you ride them, they're awesome. And it's got the performance to be able to go and win Pro Ski World Finals Moto. So it's incredible that you can use a pump gas boat and have that kind of performance. Advancement for us this off season was our new billet intake system. So we came up with a new billet pump shoe, a billet grate that matches that pump shoe perfectly, and then obviously a pump plate adapter that allows you to run the 1500 pump, which mounts from the rear. So as soon as you switch to the 1500 pump, what we felt was, obviously it's a 148, so a really good size pump for this size of ski and this kind of horsepower. So we were able to get a pump that, like, basically very efficient. Even the standard 148 works amazingly well because of the pump plate. So the pump plate has a lot of design into it, and it really is super smooth. We were able to basically have very little, if there's zero, vibration through the boat. So the driveline is super smooth on these. We've had zero wear on drive shafts and impellers and things like that. So durability into the future is going to be amazing. One of the nice features is that you're able to remove your pump with the ride plate in place and change your impeller and not have a bunch of sealant on the impeller, on the pump when you reinstall it. So our pump plate takes an O-ring seal. Really, Steve did a great job designing that whole pump system that we're using now. So he put a lot of his effort into it this winter, and yeah, he knocked it out the park. So yeah, basically we got this beautiful pump shoe, scoop grate, pump plate that all actually bolt together. So you can remove it separately, piece from piece, but when it's all installed correctly and bolted together, it becomes one seamless piece. And the amount of flow testing that we put into this, and the amount of, basically the feel on the water is amazing. Like, just the amount, the intake is so efficient that I feel that the pump is not as important anymore, because you're hooking up the boat so well through the intake itself that you know, it's not as critical to have these really high dollar pumps. Obviously, if you want to race pro ski and you're trying to beat the best guys in the world, every bit of advantage is key. So for those kind of guys, going after that, definitely, get yourself a Scat Track pump or a Solus, or whatever pump of your choice. But for the average guy, expert, pro-am rider, honestly, I think the standard 148 is pretty amazing. Then our hull is really a nice feature with our hull is we do have the adjustable extensions on the rear. The adjustable extensions allow you to tune the boat properly, so you are able to basically adjust how much nose pressure you want for the boat. It does affect it in a straight line, so the more of the plates that you put onto the back, the more nose pressure you have in a straight line. But where it affects you more is the amount of initial steer-in that you get from the boat as you tip it into the turn. And being able to adjust those small things, it's an important part of racing. And even if you're not going to race, just being able to burn around the lake and have the coolest boat that feels really good and tune it for exactly how you want it, that's a really key feature. So the nice thing with that boat, it is really adjustable. You obviously have the adjustable handle pole system, then you have the spacers on the back of the hull, which allow you to basically tune the length of your hull, which then changes the nose pressure in the turn as well as in the straight line. And then obviously you can shim the ride plate too. So for instance, for me today, I'm running one washer underneath the back of the ride plate. I like a little bit more nose pressure. It takes away a little bit of your speed, but for me, I'd rather have the handling and the steering the way I'd want it and drive out the turns. People chase speed too much, so people show up with boats that really normally do good speeds in flat water, but when they get to race conditions, they have a boat that bounces and doesn't drive out the turns. And that's one of the most important things of racing, is getting something that drives hard out the turns, doesn't bounce, easy to ride, doesn't take a lot of rider input, so it can save your energy, because when you're 10 minutes into the moto, you're tired. Everybody gets tired no matter how much you train, and it's key to be as strong as possible at the end of the race. Then as far as the engine goes, we have an air filter that we run. We don't run the standard airbox. It just suits our hull better. Our battery is super easy to get in and out of the boat. You don't need to remove anything to access the battery. We have a nice blow-off filter on the oil catch can. Besides that, everything is super easy to get to in our engine compartment. So if you want to change the tune on your ECU, it's right there. You can plug right onto it. You don't have to remove anything. Taking the engine in and out of this boat, for guys that know what they're doing, it's just under 20 minutes. So it's not daunting like the old 4-strokes. So our engine bay is, you know, massive, so it gives you tons of space to work. You can access everything on this boat. So with the engine in place, you have full access to pretty much everything, which is a key factor when you're racing. You're going to be, you know, in some tough condition, and you do end up breaking something. You need to be able to fix it quickly before the next motor starts. So yeah, really good feature. Obviously our boat comes with a lightweight hood. It's a high flow hood. Got nice vents up around the top, pumps a bunch of air into the boat, as well as the dual air intakes from the RRP base bracket. That obviously is key with these 4-strokes, because you want to get rid of the heat. You want to get as much fresh air into them as possible. Yeah, it's just such an amazing boat. You know, we worked our goal always was to be able to have you know, a boat that did 60 miles an hour on pump gas and you could ride it every day. That's always personally what I was looking for. Something that I could ride. I didn't want to have to work on it, and I wanted something nice and reliable. You know, I don't want to come to the water and work on a jet ski when I'm out with my buddies or coming out training. I ride a lot, so I wanted, you know, I really don't want to have to bring a toolbox with me, or will barely ever need it. So with this boat, honestly, we high 60s, we've just, you know, those expectations that we had, we've just blown right through them. So yeah, amazing product. This is a demo. It's available for anybody to come ride. It is going to be available for sale in the next few weeks. Normally keep them for a few weeks and then let them go. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a waiting list on the boats. They've been really popular. So you know, if you want to beat the waiting list, give us a call. You know, you can get this thing pretty much right away as soon as it's finished with its demos, and be ready for summer. So yeah, thanks a lot, and yeah, great day, awesome boat. Try and have some cool content for you guys in the future.